Hello, friends. Welcome once again to yet another episode of Tea Talk with me, Owen Fernandez. Today is the 23rd of September 2021, and I wish all my viewers a good morning, a good afternoon, and a good evening wherever in the world you are. We are on episode number 42, and our topic for today is how to overcome obstacles to personal growth. By now, friends, those that follow me will well know that I am very, very passionate about personal growth. You may ask me why. I firmly believe that intentional personal growth is the key to reach one's potential. It is the key to become a better person, a better leader, a better husband, a better team player, a better businessman, a better entrepreneur, a better citizen. Now, if you remember, we talked about obstacles in general in our very first episode on the 4th of May 2021. Friends, it's been a long time. It's almost 5 months when it all started. There, you will see me talk about obstacles in general. I start about talking about obstacles saying that it is a part and parcel of human existence. We also speak about the role our mindset plays when we are confronted with obstacles. There, I also mentioned about the necessity or the importance to embrace change. And of course, we touched a little bit upon the role of self confidence and letting go of the fear of the unknown. Now, friends, most of us, and that includes me, we do have fears. We spoke about fears in detail in episode 7 on the 22nd of May, wherein which I talked about the six ghosts of fear. Now, for most of you that do not know, fear is a form of energy. And one thing about energy I know it's that it's never created nor destroyed, which means to say that it's there all the time. For example, we fear the experience of change, the fear of failing, the fear of falling sick, the fear of pain, the fear of losing, the fear of difficulty, the fear of thinking that it's not worth it. Fear does just doesn't go away. It needs to be tackled, it needs to be handled. It will always be there. You can't eliminate it. However, the point to be noted is growth comes from confronting fear, from overcoming fear. You battle with it in a way that it works the best for you so that you can do it consistently and win over it. Friends, in order to attain any level of achievement or significance, life is going to challenge us and create obstacles in our path. It will never, I repeat, it will never be a smooth sail. Now, my personal mentor, John C. Maxwell, would say everything worthwhile is uphill. If you want to achieve anything above average, you need to work towards it. It means to say, pictorically, that the climb is uphill. And me, Owen Fernandez, as a life coach, my soul takes immense pleasure to come alongside you on that climb, to help you realize your full God given potential, to help you be all that you want to be, to help you do all that you want to do, and to help you have all that you ever wanted to have. So, friends, in this episode, I will share with you three kinds of obstacles that hinders our personal growth and how to overcome them. So, grab a cup of tea or coffee or whatever your favorite drink is, take a comfortable seat as we relax and go deeper into this topic. Episode number 42, how to overcome obstacles to your personal growth. Also, there is a possibility to interact with me while I am live. So please let me know in the chat box where you are watching from. So let's get going. I see a good friend of mine, Peter. I really like his discipline. He always shows up, and I'm sure that the time that he takes to listen will be reflected in his future life and in the results that he's going to bring. Thank you, Peter, for showing up. So let's get started. Friends, as usual, I always like to start with a quote, and this time it is from Garth Steen. He says, "The true test of a champion is not whether he can triumph, but whether he can overcome obstacles. Think about it. When it comes to personal growth, you have to handle your belief system. Yes, you heard it right, your belief system. While it is true that belief alone would not get you where you want to go, it usually does determine whether you can even try to get there. Friends, in my journey of life so far, I have seen it over and over again in hundreds, if not thousands, of people. Three negative beliefs that even stop the smartest of people in their tracks and limit their growth. And when I'm mentioning about these three negative beliefs, I have to confess that me myself have experienced all these negative beliefs at some point of my time, at some point of my growth in the past. So I'm speaking from experience, and I hope that when you find these descriptions that I'm going to show, you need to ask yourself if you hold any of these beliefs. Be very honest about it. Authenticity always pays. Ask yourself if you can relate to any of these three negative beliefs that I'm talking about that could have been a part of your past and could have basically stopped you or retarded your growth or hindered your path towards personal growth. Now, if you do, believe me that they're going to limit you in some way or the other. However, when you replace those negative beliefs that bring in negative thoughts and then result in negative behaviors and assumptions, you need to replace them with positive beliefs. And once you do that, you remove limitations and thus are free yourself to grow. So, what are these three obstacles that I'm talking about? Let's talk about them a little bit in detail. Now, friends, as I said, to make it up, the growth slope or the climb to the hill that John C. Maxwell talks about, we need to figure out the best route and make steady progress on the way up, step by step, little by little. That often means removing obstacles that come in our way. And today, as I said, I want to talk to you about the three huge obstacles that could be on your path that hinders your potential and thus affects your performance. Now, leaving them there without attending to them will slow or even stop your growth process. As I said, if that's fear, you need to handle it, you need to face it, you need to eliminate it. Or if it could be any other type of distractions, you need to face it. You need to remove them. Removing them can then free you to run towards your growth goals, however high it might be. So, what kind of obstacles are these? As I said, these are more or less negative beliefs that result in negative thoughts. The first one is a scarcity type of mindset. The rhetoric here is that, oh, there isn't enough for me. Oh, I don't have it. It is coming from a system, and that could more or less relate to the upbringing as a child. Now, I know some people see the world as a pie with only a certain number of slices, and they see that everybody is competing to get some of that pie. Ask yourself right now, are you one of them? Are you in a constant state of competition? Are you thinking that there is no room for you? Are you thinking that there could be some others that would reach there faster and take it away from you, leaving you without anything? Friends, that's just a belief system. Can you believe 7.8 billion people on the planet Earth do have access to air to breathe? And of course, there is no shortage of water as such. It's only the territorial dominance and the possessive and the greed that has resulted in separating the have nots from the haves. Now, for some people, the belief that there is scarcity motivates them to be their best in order to grab their fair share of the pie. Competition is not always bad. Sometimes it induces some amount of eustress. It's called the positive stress. So I repeat, for some people, the scarcity, the belief that there is not enough, motivates them to be the best in order to grab their fair share. But for many, I focus on the word for many, a belief in scarcity demotivates them because they believe the odds of winning one of only a few slices simply aren't in their favor or will not come their way. So, my question to you concerning this negative belief is, how do you view options? How do you see resources? How do you see opportunities? Or is there just a blank folio on your eyes that hinders you from even starting? A person with a scarcity mindset believes that those things are limited and he is far away from reaching it. He believes that we are all competing for a finite number of resources or options, and that belief itself is a lie. There is enough for everyone. So ask yourself, are you suffering from a mindset of scarcity to start with? The second kind of obstacle is the insecurity. The rhetoric here is, oh, I'm not good enough. Again, it arises from low self confidence, from low self worth. Now, if scarcity says the world doesn't have enough, insecurity says I'm not enough. Now, what is insecurity? It is actually the minimizing of oneself. It's seeing your abilities, talents, and strengths as deficient in some way. Now, who told you that? And even if anybody hasn't told you, it's your mind speaking all those negative things and bringing out some negative thoughts. Now, friends, when you believe you're not good or talented enough, that's an obstacle to your growth. Now, once that thing sets in, you may ask, why pursue any goal if you don't think you're capable of reaching it? Can you believe that whisper that's coming out with saying that you're not good enough, you don't have it in you? Those are all negative thoughts. Those are all negative beliefs. Insecure people may recognize chances to advance and grow, but they don't believe in their ability to see these opportunities. Now, I myself, when I started and when I thought about coming up on Tuesdays or Thursdays, I did feel insecure. I felt overwhelmed as to how am I going to do this? And look, today, the 23rd of September, we are on episode 42, which means to say that I have showed up for 20 weeks. That's almost 5 months. It's okay to have fear, it's okay to be insecure, but what you feed grows, and what you starve dies. So think about it. Are you basically listening from somebody outside of you or something within you that you're not good enough? Suffocate that voice there and there itself. Refuse to feed that. And finally, the third obstacle that I'm going to talk about is the obstacle of feeling powerlessness. The rhetoric here is, I can't do it. Now, if you look at the slide that I have put up, you will see these words: don't, not, can't. Now, those that know English, even basic English, these are negative words. Friends, a belief in powerlessness comes out of the assumption that we have no ability to affect our world. Is that true? Powerlessness often begins with a wound, perhaps from someone in authority ignoring or dismissing your voice. It could even come from parenting that is not good. But even if it does come, it hardens over time into a mentality that cannot recognize personal responsibility for anything that happens in life. Think about it. For the powerless person, there is always someone else who should have acted, someone else who should have taken the blame. The passive way of seeing the world can lead to a victim mentality. If someone else is always in control, then the victim is always at the mercy of those in charge. So, can that person call himself free? He's bound, he's in bondage. And I have said it in the past many times, limitations are mental and self imposed. Friends, people who feel powerless are less likely to pursue growth because they believe that their growth ultimately won't matter to them, that their skills will never be recognized by the people who hold all of the power. So, these three obstacles that I have just mentioned is all about your mindset, the scarcity mindset that tells you, no, there isn't enough for me. I don't have it. I will not have it. The insecurity, the whisper that could possibly kill your dreams that says, I am not good enough. And the feeling of powerlessness, which slowly puts you into some sort of captivity, a bondage in your mind, which says that you can't do it. I see a good friend of mine, Titus. He says, I can do it. Win is within yourself. Thanks, Titus, for showing up. So I've just mentioned to you the possible obstacles that can come in the way of your personal growth: a scarcity mindset, a feeling of insecurity that could come from low levels of self confidence, from low levels of self worth, from low levels of, 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 of self esteem, and of course, the spirit of powerlessness saying that you cannot do it. Friends, those are lies coming from the pit of hell. All that you ever needed has always been deposited in you. And as Titus just basically brings it up again, the win is always within you. Look within for a win outside. So I go to the next stage in this episode. How do you remove these obstacles? Now, while I have highlighted the problem, I would also love to share a few solutions that worked well for me. So there is good news that you don't have to live with negative beliefs. The first thing that you've got to do is to recognize them within yourself. And it all starts with self awareness. Once you recognize it, you know where to start from, and then you are in a position to take the first step of growth. Now, what is the first step of growth? It is to choose to believe differently. I call it a mind shift. Now, when you hear the word shift, it means to say that you're moving something or some thought to a different place or to a different location. And friends, easy as it seems, try it yourself. This is something that you can try right now, today. Your beliefs are your choices. So consider these three strategies for these three obstacles that I've just mentioned. Now, what could be the first one? The first one is shift from your scarcity mindset to abundance thinking. If you struggle with a belief in scarcity, choose instead to practice abundance thinking. Now, instead of seeing only limited options or resources, choose to believe that they are abundant. And in fact, they are. It's only the, the, the way you see things. In other words, if you see others grabbing all the pieces of the pie, you don't need to panic. Just bake another pie. And by nature, it means to say, create a new opportunity. Why? Because You are a creative being. You're born in the image of the Almighty, who Himself is one of the best creators ever. So you see an obstacle, you see an adversity, you see a challenge. There are two choices: either to fear, be intimidated, and run away, or to face and see an opportunity and even an adventure. Believers in abundance choose to focus on possibilities, and this enables them to pursue them. Now, take the case of the present scenario. As far as I know, COVID surfaced for the first time in November 2019. And in just about 2 months from now, it's going to be almost 2 years. Yes, there have been deaths and there are still deaths going on in the world. But the spirit, the human spirit, is still fighting in every nation, in every town, in every village. The fight is there. And to some extent, though we were basically forced to come into a standstill for a couple of months, slowly and steadily, the world started moving again. Yes, I know we are far from being safe, but yet the fight is on. We believe, and even if we look at history, we have always overcome all sorts of crises and all sorts of pandemics in the past. And this time, we will do and see the rainbow after the storm. So, shift from a scarcity mindset to abundant thinking. The second one, we talked about insecurity. Shift from a feeling of being insecure to confident thinking. Now, they might not necessarily be a manifestation in the physical world, but you can move your thought process in the mind. So, if you struggle with insecurity, practice confidence thinking. Choose to believe that you do have something to offer. Now, as I said, you're unique, you're one of its kind. There is nobody on the planet Earth that is like you. Every life is unique. You are the only person on earth who brings your skills, your talents, your experience to the table. Now, that's worth something in itself. I've said that in the past, that you are valuable, you are priceless. Now, even if you don't feel, that doesn't change the truth. Believe in yourself, back yourself. Believing in your abilities empowers you to use them, to succeed, and of course, to grow. So shift your thinking, shift your mindset from feeling insecure to confident. And finally, for the third obstacle, there is a third solution. Shift from feeling powerlessness and embrace responsibility. So, if you're struggling with a feeling of powerlessness, what do you need to do? Take responsibility for every action, for every thought, for every behavior. That means owning what you can do and releasing what you can't. You can only control what you can. Let go of the other things. No one can control everything, but with the things you can control, take full responsibility for it. Be accountable. Or, to paraphrase Teddy Roosevelt, do the best you can with what you have, where you are. Friends, repeatedly blaming others or circumstances for what happens in your life is a way of avoiding your own responsibility. Now, if you do that, the results are right in front of you. You can't expect a miracle when you are not ready to work for the miracle itself. So, in other words, to experience self growth, you have to be ready to take all what it takes, including the pain and the heat. Blaming others is the easiest way, And when you blame others, you create the conflict you need to deflect the focus away from you onto someone else. And we see that all around us. No wonder only 15% of the working population of the world actually drive economies. So, in summarizing, what am I trying to say? Create a mind shift. Now, if you are not able to do that, seek for help from people, from coaches, from elders, from those people who have been there, mentors, friends. Or if you do not have anybody, write a mail to me, owen@owenfernandez.com. Let me be your thinking partner. Let me put forth certain questions to unfold certain blocks that are stopping you from personal growth. As I said before, we can do it. The question is that how? How deep a desire you have in order to grow. As I said, growth, though it may look natural, it's very intentional. So shift from a scarcity mindset to a mindset of abundant thinking. Shift from feeling insecure to feeling confident. It's just about fine tuning. Shift from thinking of being a powerless person to a person who gets up, takes responsibility for all his action and his thoughts. I see a very good friend of mine, Jill Perkins from Melbourne. I hope you people are safe. I'm reading a lot of stuff from there. Okay, she says, so wise. We are still in lockdown here, longest in the world. Yes, I do agree with you. Very challenging, but a big time of learnings. Yes, as I said, every adversity comes packed in itself with an equal level of opportunity. That's what I have basically learned from my reading of Think and Grow Rich, a great book from Napoleon Hill. So, friends, in closing, I have this to say. We have been so inundated from such an early age to focus on what's not working in our lives or the world or things that are always negative. Why don't we shift our thoughts? Why is it so difficult for us? So, next time negative thoughts arising from negative beliefs flood your mind, the first thing is that be aware of it, recognize it, and shift it. Just like you would change a radio station which plays music that you don't like. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius once wrote, very little is needed to make a happy life. It's all within yourself, in your way of thinking. As a man thinketh, so is he. A man is a product of his thinking all day long. Change your thinking, change your life. Thinking is the highest functional capability that a human being possesses that makes him different from all the other species. As I said, the mind is a divine seat of operation. Protect your mind, protect your thoughts. The difference, friends, between the life you have and the life you want is often just a matter of how you think and what you believe. If you confront and change your beliefs, you are clearly on the way on your journey towards growth. So, friends, thanks for watching this episode. In case you have missed any of our previous episodes, you will find this on my YouTube channel. All the previous 41 episodes are uploaded out there. Please check those episodes whenever you have got time. Choose from things that are meaningful to you at the point where you feel yourself in. If you like it, please press the like button and be good enough to share so that others can subscribe to. You will find the references of what has been shared at the end of this video. Feel free to use them further for your personal growth. As I said before, my YouTube channel has all the previous videos uploaded out there. Remember, friends, the win is always within you. I, Owen Fernandez, and I'm here to help you be victorious. I believe in you. You can borrow my belief. I believe in you, and together we can. So stay safe, See you on the next episode of Tea Time with Owen. Bye for now and have a great weekend.